So what's up, guys? It's your boy Mac Dabs here. Today I'm going to talk about my time working at Taco Bell. You might not know this, but there was a small time that I actually did have a job. I worked at Taco Bell for a little bit, and this Taco Bell was kind of like a smaller one. It was kind of out of the way. We didn't get a whole lot of business, and rushes weren't fast or anything. And at the time that I worked at this Taco Bell, I was in like my sophomore year of high school. I didn't do much, so I just got a job, and my parents kind of had forced me to get a job at that point. So I ended up working at Taco Bell because that's where my sister worked. Now, mind you, I was only about 15 when I worked at this job. I think 15, like 14 or 15. And I had nothing to save for. I mean, I probably should have saved for stuff. I just didn't. I saved, but not for anything specific. And I didn't have a car. I had no responsibilities. So it was like just a job to constantly have money to do nothing with. I think a lot of the time that I got paid, I put a lot of that money back in a Taco Bell. Like, I just got food at my own job all the time. And there was a McDonald's right across the street, and that's my ultimate kryptonite. I can't not stop at a McDonald's. I go there probably 3 times a week. I know it's unhealthy, but it's McDonald's. I love it. Don't judge me. Anyways, so when I worked there, like, it was really nice. There weren't too many people. I think there were probably about like 10 people that worked there, and everybody had like and was nice to me when I worked there, except for my sister. My sister was like, she was extremely mean when I worked there, and it was only really to me, and it got bad. Like, she would yell at me at work, and I just wouldn't talk to her at work because it got so bad. And generally, me and my sister were the only people that actually did anything at that job. Like, there were people that worked there and did stuff, but they didn't do, like, nearly as much. The odd thing about working there was when I worked there, out of the 10 of us, like, 5 people were managers. And it didn't make any sense. They were just randomly managers. We had the store manager and then just other managers. Like, I don't know. We had, like, an older one, 2 younger ones, and then 2 middle-aged ones, I think. So yeah, we had like 5 managers. It just didn't really make sense. And the store manager was not the nicest person. She was probably in like her 30s, and I think she still lived with her family. She was nice sometimes, but she was just kind of mean all of the time. And Taco Bell itself, when you work at it, you get very disrespected. It was awful. I think working with the general public kind of made me hate the general public. Because, like, working at Taco Bell, generally I had to work as a cashier and as a cashier on the drive-thru. But you get so disrespected by the public, and it doesn't make any sense. Not 1 ounce of sense at all. Like, I think I worked there for maybe like 3 months or something, and then I had quit because my sister quit, and I felt uncomfortable, and I was younger, so it was just weird to me. But, like, the first whole week that I worked there, the amount of old people that came into Taco Bell once every single week, but on the same day at the same time, was phenomenal. You wouldn't think that there would be this many older people that would come in just one day, the same day, every week, at the same time, and be so disrespectful. Old people, like, get away with a lot, and they're even worse at restaurants. The first week that I worked there, all the old people that did that, like, just went there one day, got the same thing all the time. Even though I was brand new, if I didn't know their order, they were, like, terribly mean to me. Like, there was this one older guy that would come in, like I said, the same day, same time, everything. He was just mean. He was just mean. He had an angry face. It was not fun. And this guy, every single time, if I didn't know his order and punch it in right away, he would give me this just even slightly meaner face and kind of yell at me a little while he was giving me his order. And it didn't make sense. But then there was, like, also passive-aggressive old people who just, like, were trying not to be mean because they knew that I was new, but at the same time, they were still really mean. Like, they would kind of be nice, but they would kind of disrespect you at the same time. And it was awful. Old people treat you like trash, man. I don't know if they're just like, man, I live my full life with this fuckery. Just give me my goddamn tacos. I don't know what it was, but like they were just so mean and rude at Taco Bell. And then like you just had like a ton of different people that came to Taco Bell, but they were all in specific groups. So like you had old people that came, stoners, which we got a lot. Soccer moms would come all the time, and generally angry dads, I guess. I don't even know if these guys were dads. They were just like middle-aged and seemed like dads, but those were pretty much like the groups of people. There were a few others like outside of that, but they were all kind of just different categories of people, and those were the ones that generally came through. So we would have soccer moms that constantly came through, and they would be like rushing us. They wouldn't necessarily be mean, but they would be rushing us and order the biggest amount of food. They would order a Taco 12 pack, but like 5 of them. And then they would like get up to the window, be kind of rushing us, but you would look in their minivan and they would already have like a whole McDonald's worth trip of food and Wendy's at the same time, and they're ordering Taco Bell. And you're like, how does a soccer mom do this? And why is she rushing me? But it was like, it didn't make sense to me. Because when I was growing up, I wasn't like allowed to go to a different restaurant if I didn't like it. And this was an ass ton of food. I know they had a minivan, but this was like an ass ton of food. And the surprising thing was the amount of soccer moms that did this. There were probably about 5 a day that did this, and it would all be different every day. Like, it wasn't the same 5 moms every day. It was just different moms, but 5 of them every day coming in with like 3 other restaurants, family worth of food, and ordering Taco Bell, but a massive amount. And it never made sense. And then we had like the angry dads that would come through. And the angry dads would order an ass ton of food as well. Normally like a Taco 12 pack or like 3 of them. And then they would like come up to the window and ask to add something to their order right before they gave us the money. So you would have these angry dads that would like try to add something last minute, and I would have to be the one that was working the cash register whenever we got these angry, super angry dads, and be like, no, I'm sorry. You gotta go around again if you want to order something more. We can't really add anything right now. We're going through a rush. And these dads would get so angry, they would be like, you know what? No, keep the Taco 12 pack, and I'm gonna leave, okay? Screw you! And they would like drive off, and it was awful. Like, working with the public made me hate the public so much, because you just get like screamed at and yelled at all the time. But working nights at Taco Bell was fun, because then like the stoners would come through, and the stoners were a lot of fun because they would generally like roll up, hotboxing their car, like bong in the middle of the car, looking like they're ready to like munch down, and they're just getting like nachos, just tons of nachos and like large sodas. And it was just interesting, you know? Like, they were generally the nicest people and the funniest, and I had fun with that. But then you got, like, the other people that are just mean all the time, and these people are so awful. I had people that would come up and just, like, get so mad at me because I would mess something up. Or, to be honest, most of the time, like 90% of the time, I wouldn't even mess something up. It would be the people that ordered. It would be their faults. Like, they would tell me something, and then they would get something different and be like, no, but I asked for this. And we would be like, but this is what you got because this is what you asked for. And then they would like take it out on us, which was awful. But then, like, to make customers happier, you're kind of trained to, like, give them something free, like, I don't know, like a dessert or, like, a larger soda or something. And you would do that, and they still wouldn't really respect you, so it was awful. Like, sometimes you got people that would get a little nicer, and then sometimes people were just, like, so awfully rude still. There was one guy that he was with his friend, and they were both in their 20s, and they had come up, ordered something, but they ordered it wrong. So I, checked with them, and before they even got their order, I had made sure that we corrected it and everything, and they were still kind of mean to me. So, to be nice and to make them happier, I gave them both, like, large sodas instead of the smalls that they asked for. And when I gave them the larges, they didn't do anything, so I told them that I did that just, to kind of make their day better. Like, I was like, listen, I'm sorry about the mistake. I gave you large sodas instead of small sodas. And then, like, this dude, just kind of laughed at me and walked away. And it was awful. It was so terrible. I was like, really? I just helped you out, and then you did this to me. Why? Working with the public may be one of the worst things ever, especially when you're in fast food, because you're expected to be accurate and fast and right, but generally, like, other people, the people that are ordering, are wrong, and then they blame it on you because you just work in fast food. And when you work in fast food, you kind of get treated like you're stupid and you're not fast enough. And that was the way that Taco Bell was, for sure. And Taco Bell, you kind of got that from, like, the managers, and you got that from, from the customers coming through. And it's no hate on Taco Bell. Like, Taco Bell is an awesome restaurant or whatever. I still like their food and everything. And I'm sure that a lot of other restaurants a lot of other Taco Bells are better than the one that I worked at. Just the one that I worked at wasn't great. But I think my favorite thing about Taco Bell of all was, like, when people would pronounce things wrong. Because we had Baja Blast, which is a wonderful soda. I recommend you try it. We had Baja Blast, Mountain Dew Baja Blast. And people would come through the drive-thru and be like, excuse me there, can I get a Bahama Mama Blast? And my reaction to hearing Bahama Mama Blast would be to instantly mute the microphones we had for the drive-thru and be like, oh my god, did you just hear what he said? He called it a Bahama Mama Blast. It's a Bahama. It doesn't even say mama. What is this guy talking about? But that was probably my favorite thing about working at Taco Bell. I'm sorry about this kind of shitty put together rant, but, like, I just thought it'd be funny. I thought you guys would be interested in my Taco Bell stories and everything that happened. And, working at, like, a fast food restaurant and getting constantly disrespected when that happened. I don't work there anymore, and I haven't worked there in years, but after all of that, I get a lot more calmed down whenever I go to, like, restaurants, whenever I go to McDonald's or anything fast food, and I'm really nice to the people that work there. Because I think they deserve that, whether it's, like, Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's or Taco Bell or anything. I think you should think a little bit more about the people that work there and, just kind of be nicer to them, because they may not work there by choice, or they may not, be happy working there already. But you should generally be a lot nicer. And sometimes, it's not these people's fault that make the mistakes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I actually had a lot of fun with this. And if you guys want, like, another story or, just anything, like, whether it's about high school or maybe more Taco Bell, anything like that, please hit the comments. Tell me if you liked the video, and if you made it this far, do like the video, or say in the comments that you made it to this point. Say diamond or something, so I know. I don't know. It's a random word. So thank you guys so much for watching. I had a ton of fun. I'm still sick, and hopefully I get rid of this. But I will see you guys later. Goodbye.